And then understanding where your sexual fantasies come from, how childhood experiences may be impacting our desires as adults.
Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
Why are you giggling already? I didn't even say anything yet.
Make that transition.
This is how you make the transition. Get the kids out of the room right now. We're talking about an adult subject matter. Yes? Most of us have at some time wondered, of course, where our sexual fantasies come from. Dr. Rose Hartzell from San Diego Sexual Medicine at Alvarado Hospital is here to explain how this is interesting, how our childhood experiences may be impacting our sexual fantasies as adults. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
This is pretty fascinating stuff right here. We're just going to go through several of these points here, and then you just kind of explain, yes? And I will
Sounds good.
keep my composure. Number one, what do our sexual fantasies reveal about ourselves and why, and maybe give us a few examples?
Well, first off, a lot of times our sexual fantasies are from our childhood experiences, but lots of different influences can impact them. Some things about unmet needs and unresolved conflicts can infect your sexual fantasies. So for instance, if you as a child are made to feel powerless, or guilt is often used a lot, that can influence how you fantasize in adulthood.
Wow. Give me another example.
So I'm going to give you an example about how if your parent is always trying to use guilt as punishment, when you grow up, you might be the kind of person that likes to do secret or forbidden acts.
Wow, really?
Or you, contrary, might want to be overcome by someone so that you don't have to feel guilty.
Wow. So much influences us as children. It's unbelievable. Are most people aware of why they have certain sexual fantasies, and is there a way that we can pinpoint exactly where they may have come from?
A lot of times people aren't aware where their sexual fantasies come from, and unfortunately that can lead to troubling and maladaptive behavior. So for instance, if you don't understand why you're always attracted to people that aren't available to you or reject you, that can influence you not wanting to be in a relationship, or you can want to be in a relationship with someone that is not good for you. Now
in this study, how much do the childhood experiences actually affect these adult fantasies? I mean, are we talking a lot? Are they absolutely key and critical to our development, or is it just mildly influential in when we grow up?
It's one aspect. So how your parents treat you is one example, but also how you, like if you played childhood games as a child, or someone touched you in a weird way, or you were in a store and someone was wearing a cute dress and that was the first time that you got aroused, that could also influence you as well. Okay, now this I find interesting. You say that we can actually unconsciously sexualize these emotions. Explain what that means, first of all, and then is that healthy? Well, those are negative emotions, and so by sexualizing them, we kind of gain power and control over them. And so that actually is a healthy thing. It's only maladaptive if it leads to troubling behavior. So as I was explaining before, if you choose partners that aren't appropriate for you or unavailable. Okay, a lot of people wonder, because are their sexual fantasies normal, and are they healthy? And is it possible that sometimes they become dangerous? Because I think we've witnessed in a lot of crimes stem from certain fantasies that are kind of out of the realm of normal, if you will. Well, first off, a lot of times sexual fantasies aren't what people would be attracted to in their fantasy life. In real life, isn't something that they might want to engage in. Oh, really? So, for example, if you want to have an extra person in your bedroom, doesn't mean that you actually want to add someone in the bedroom with your wife. If you actually had that might not be something that you enjoyed. So, a lot of times they're very harmless. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to move past that one. This is related, where how connected are the bedroom fantasies to what we enjoy in real life? You kind of hinted at that right now, that they may not be connected at all, because your fantasies, some people may just want to keep them a fantasy and not bring them to fruition, I guess. Correct. So for most people, their fantasies aren't related to what actually occurs in real life, although it could be. Yeah, okay, it could be. Well, you say that you can help create self-awareness and even help one choose a partner when you have these fantasies. Explain what you mean by that. So if you're with someone that as I was mentioning before, you could be drawn to someone, let's say you're insecure as a child, and so you might be drawn towards someone that is very stable and is going to take care of you. But you could also be drawn to someone if you experience a lot of longing or abandonment as a child that you're going to keep experiencing that longing feeling towards, and ultimately you will be in a relationship that's maladaptive or not good for you.
I don't want to say it's taboo, but a lot of people feel uncomfortable talking about this with even with their spouse. How do you bring something like that up? I mean, is it safe to maybe address some of your fantasies? Does that help a relationship? Can it hurt a relationship, or how does that work?
Well, the awesome thing about fantasies is they can be all in your head.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can do by yourself if you want to act out some of these fantasies, which is possible. That is a great idea, is to bring your partner in and kind of share how you feel, and maybe even explaining that if this was in real life or with anyone else that you might not want to engage in it, but because they're your partner, you feel safe sharing with them.
Which is very important.
Right.
The feeling safe and comfortable part is very important with all of this, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rose.
Thank you.
Whew, made it through that. Okay. You can get in touch, of course, with Dr. Rose Hartzell at San Diego Sexual Medicine at Alvarado Hospital. We do have a link posted on our website, fox5sandiego.com, on the Scene On tab. Thank you, Dr. Rose, again, as always. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Erica?